Hi guys, it's Neff here, and this is Penumbra Overture. For those of you who don't know, the Penumbra series was made by Frictional Games, who also made Amnesia and Soma. They are one of my favourite game developers of all time, and with the new Amnesia game coming out later this year, I decided to revisit all of the games they've made so far and upload them to my channel. Penumbra Overture originally came out in 2007, so in that regard it's quite dated, but this series is one of my favourites of all time, so I hope you enjoy watching.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago. And so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever taken. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Okay, so let's see if I can remember how to play this. Okay, whoops. Notepad. Always travel with a padlock and a key preferably. Mine's in the inventory. Can I do anything with that? No. Can I take the map? I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. Okay. Oh god. So much reading. Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I've left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board. Taking shifts because of it is no way to get you a rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need, so that you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've washed these overalls for you. I know you'll get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time, but I still feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Henriksons in the village have asked me to see if you'll be coming by any trout, but I said they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon any, Don't say anything. Stow them well in the ice and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Okay, so that should be in the notes. Yep, okay. Get rid of that. Can I leave? Yep, there we go. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realised how utterly devoted I'd been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and new hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. Get in. Oh, I need... What in the hell is that? I don't care. I need shelter. It looks frozen shut. Must break ice. Okay. There we go. There we go. Jesus, my head. I can't believe I fell that far and survived. Although looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this place? So, if I put that in there and that in there... Or, so does that put it away? Yep, okay, so can I pick this up? There we go. So I've got a steel rod. And then can I move this? Excellent. This hole's been boarded up a long time ago. The wood looks pretty soft now. So if I get out the hammer... metal rod. Can I put you in here? Don't know how much I need to turn this. Is that it? Okay, excellent. Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by two solid metal hatches located in a remote Arctic wilderness and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realised that our entire society is a network of safety nets. Emergency services at the end of a phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there if something goes wrong. Part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all of but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. Let's just head this way. Storage room seems like a good place to start. It's been so long since I've played this, I literally cannot remember where to go. Okay, lighter plus fuel equals fire. No shit. Bug things equals sad face. Gotcha. I hear you skittering about. Big rock. I can't remember what I need to do with this. Locked from the other side. Does that mean there's someone still inside? I can hear chattering, thank God. There's a locked door with odd noises coming from behind it in storage. And that one's locked. So am I throwing this at that? Nope. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with these rocks. Can I move this now? Yep. And there's a trapdoor. Oh, this is... Okay, hang on. Can I take painkillers and batteries, and then this is a save, I think? Oh, what the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. I'm sure it was. Okay, can I get done? Thank you. Okay, there's another stone here. I'll take it with me. I might need it to kill, yep, spider things. Oh, can I take this? Yes, I can. Where am I using this? Okay, so we've got a flare and... Day 1. I begin this record still in the hope that the great work we have undertaken here might one day be of scientific value, despite the chaos which has ensued in the 6 hours previous. My aim is to remain secure until what help there may be arrives, and to that end I have barricaded myself into a small workshop area in the abandoned part of the mine. I hope that the meagre food rations here will keep me alive, and that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps this mine really is cursed. It's almost precisely 30 years since the incident that brought us here, and now, 30 years on, fate has struck again. Day 3. I forecasted that today the rescue crews would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location, and hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they have not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out in search for them. Day 6. My first mistake was to make assumptions on the matter of rescue. My second mistake was to make assumptions on the safety of this mine. My third mistake was to act on both those assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where I was secured about 2 days ago in search of aid, and I have found only danger. I approached the old living quarters, but curiously could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned in what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused but focused, I attempted to make my way home, but found myself threatened by some species of feral creature, which seemed to have made this old mine its home. Although the specimen bore significant interest to me, I chose to retreat only to find myself outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the beasts. I turned and ran, injuring my ankle in the process, which I believe now is most likely a sprain, rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered a door leading to a smaller, disused part of the mine, the key for which I still have in my pocket. Within that area I discovered this storeroom, and I think it should keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. My lesson learned, I will not venture out again until I am certain the area is safe. Day 19. Rescue seems increasingly unrealistic, supplies diminishing, lots of spiders in this place. I do not like spiders. Day 34. I caught one of the accursed 8-legged beasts nestling in my open mouth, oh my god, when I woke up this morning. In my surprise, I swallowed it. It's not so much the act of swallowing which concerns me, but the genus of arachnid. It would be unlikely that a cave-dwelling spider would be venomous to any significant degree, but the possibility troubles me all the same. Day 35. Any unknown venom would have affected me by now, and so today is the first minor cause for celebration I have had since the incident. By lucky coincidence, this revelation also means I have discovered a virtually inexhaustible supply of nutrition. I intend to venture into the basement beneath this storeroom in the name of science to discover more about these creatures' natural habitat. Someone's getting cocky. Day 50. For 4 days now I have been surviving solely off the quite considerable sustenance provided by the spiders. For some time I was struggling to gather enough of the crunchy little morsels. However, Lady Luck smiled on me once more when the batteries in my torch died and I made a second life-saving finding. The creature's natural habitat is the dark. With my light now diminished, I need only lie still for a few minutes and I will have attracted enough of the beasts for a rather hearty meal. Do I have any kind of key? No. Can I smash it with the hammer? There we go. A lighter refill canister. Can I take it, please? There we go. What are you? Batteries. It's just a box, and then I cannot do anything with this. Day 71. My earlier assumptions on the benign nature of my cellmates may have been made in error. After a careful autopsy, I am concerned that there may be a small volume of natural chemicals stored in the stomach, which, if ingested regularly over a period of time, may become psychotropic or even lethal. My only real chance is to break out of here and raid any stashes of supplies I can find. However, the evidence against such a move is insurmountable. I have no source of light. I swore to myself I wouldn't leave until I heard human voices outside. The spiders are so tasty. Day 100. From the marks I have been making on the walls and my scribbled diary entries, which in the dark may amount to an ineligible scrawl, today is the 100th day of my new life. Over the past month, my edible friends have become more and more aggressive and have swelled in number and size. Whether or not this is a result of my plundering their ecosystem, I am unsure. However, at this rate of growth, they will soon be too large to crawl through the gaps in the walls. For all I know, I could only be seeing the tip of the iceberg. If all fails and I am never recovered, I hope at least that my study of, and indeed involvement with, these fascinating creatures will one day be regarded as an important point in natural history. The greatest names in modern science got there more through fluke than talent, and it appears that this rule has extended itself to my discovery of these delicious new species. I only pray that the second rule deems my breaking through too insignificant, for all great discoveries tend to consume their inventor. Okay, back this way. Run! Oh god, every time! A horrible sight. Luckily it's mummified, or else the smell would have been awful. Oh, doggy. So that happened. Can I get up anywhere? Where did I fall down? Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. And we're out. I think someone's been dragged through here. I've never seen so much blood before. That was my best chance to get some answers. Who else is down here? Oh, we have a key. Okay. Day 200. It has been some time since I recorded any findings in relation to the spiders with whom I have shared my existence for the past 8 months. partly due to my enforced retreat from their basement territory. Not too long ago, their behaviour became overtly aggressive, and so I have attempted to barricade the main entrance to their lair and secured myself within one of the smaller rooms above it, the only one with an operational door lock. The other reason is that I have been recovering from a minor operation which I was forced to conduct myself without the aid of anaesthetic. Even if I did have any anaesthetic or surgical tools, I couldn't afford to be less than diligent in my work, so anaesthetic was out. Surgical tools are all well and good, but although it may be becoming old and rusty, I still trust my penknife to do the job just as well. The procedure itself was elementary enough, a simple amputation of a non-vital organ. I began to notice a thick glue-like substance forming on my tongue and was forced to accept it had become infected through constant toxin ingestion. Day 300. Another century of days comes and goes. It seems like so long since I escaped here. At some stage since my last entry, I attempted to return from whence I came. That from which I was originally fleeing seems a fate far worse than the one I now face. However, in the time since I arrived from the larger mind system, a cave-in has occurred, blocking any further progress. I was forced to return and accept whatever end life has in store for me. I still hear my aggressive little friends scratching on the door to my cell. Okay, can I get through here? Ooh. Ooh. The largest spider I have ever seen, with its guts carved open. Beef jerky, nice. This hole isn't large enough for a man, not that I'd want to go near it even if it was. What burrowed out of this tunnel? Can I get through behind here? Nope. So I have a key. Does it say what the key is for? This key's old and scratched but looks to be in one piece. I think the beef jerky is used not for me but for distracting enemies, if I remember correctly. I don't think it's used... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's used for the spiders, it's used for the dogs. So everything's gone blue, which means I'm in stealth mode. Jesus, I've never been this scared in my life. I can feel my heart racing. If anything gets within more than a few feet of my hiding spot, I'd better not stare it out. Anything within my field of vision might panic me, and then I'm a goner. So don't look at enemies. I need to figure out where this key is for. Oh, there he is. Okay, go this way. I'm not gonna dawdle, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not overly scared of these things. I think you can use the bottle as distractions as well. Okay. Oh god. Oh god, so much reading. 15th of August 1945, Command Bunker, Emergency Airstrip Zulu, Weekly Report. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received. Standard emergency drills carried out. Routine runway maintenance completed. I have ordered maintenance to be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. The 1 wounded figure is no cause for concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop/armory and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. Good job, guys. I take partial responsibility for this in that I allowed them access to the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom, and I'm sure that's where they learned the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I have now locked up that manual in the chest in my office and will keep my key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined, and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hands. This base is so disconnected sometimes, I feel as if the war could end and we might not even hear about it out here. Reconditioning of the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage, and an excavation of previously caved-in areas is going ahead. One point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in the earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after marshal duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Chief NCO M. Major. Oh, another key. And another document to read, oh my god. Okay, so the key to this chest, it's locked, I need a key. There we go. So this is the Big Book of Explosives, 1923 edition. Okay, I won't read this now, I will read it when it's relevant to making bombs, which is soon, I think. Gimme. Oh, jerky. Flare. Baxtrin, so that's going to be an ingredient for... might come in handy. Is this... notes? Explosives book, okay. So, Baxtrin, okay. We need that for the black match fuse. Okay. Oh my god. Copenhagen Post, Monday 17th August 1930. Psychotropic deposits at the bottom of Death Mine. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that mind-altering chemicals naturally sown into the rock may be the cause of high suicide rates at a Greenland mine. The university, which has recently been conducting studies into isolated communities, first became interested in the workers of the northwestern lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's naturally higher suicide rate, local figures for the last 100 years were abnormally high, at 46 deaths per 100,000 populace, compared to the national average of 29. On further investigation, experts diagnosed in many of the miners symptoms in common with the earlier stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to hypothesize that natural deposits of lysergic acid, a pH4 formula recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be present in the rocks. Few locals were conducive to interview, but those who agreed to speak had their own explanation. Inuit spirits known as the Turngate live in the mountains. The university is awaiting the results of chemical testing. Studies continue. A man, an old man, clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before, still I know this man before me is Howard. I call him father. It was different, but the same that time. Like I had more control, but over what?